suppose. CPRE Gloucestershire is the Gloucestershire branch of national charity Campaign to Protect Rural England, and our focus is on everything countryside in Gloucestershire. We have the planning side of things and the policy side of things in terms of making sure that we're getting the right building in the right places and it's appropriate building and appropriate planning, but we focus a lot on the kind of boots on the ground side of things, whether that be planting and laying hedgerows across the county, or surveying brownfield sites, or creating new walkways in and around the county.
Dead simple, dig a hole, make sure it's deep enough is the big thing, and then once they're in, give it a stomp, put your cane in and you'll spiral around it. Does that all sound like what people would expect to do when planting a hedge? Fantastic. Since the end of the Second World War, England has lost roughly half of its hedgerows due to poor land use and land use change and management issues. But hedges are a wonderful natural barrier for flooding and climate change, and they're carbon sequesters and they're wonderful for our wildlife. And so that's why we're here today planting a hedge. Across England, we've lost almost half of our hedgerows. Gloucestershire is no different to that. Most of the loss is either through land use change, through developments, or just poor land management. That means the hedges aren't looked after properly and they kind of just gap up and then die and become bramble and not very productive. Hedges, I think, for most people are kind of just there. Whereas I think getting people involved and holding volunteer planting days like this and our hedge laying days that we also offer really gets people involved, and it makes people notice hedges more than they would do if they were just driving past or walking their dogs.
These are not too fun? No. Oh, they are? The last two that we can. Oh.
So with the Hedgerow Heroes Project, we work with landowners across the county, and it's a really important part of the project that for a start the land needs to be publicly accessible, because we want to be planting hedgerows in areas where the public can appreciate and see it, but also that we work with landowners who are able to have the resources to look after the hedgerow once we've planted it. You see, we're here today, coming towards the end of the planting season in March, and it's absolutely stunning day. It's very dry, so these whips here will need to be looked after. So we have a landowner agreement that with any landowner that we work with, they will look after their hedgerow once we planted it, make sure it's watered. A lot of them mulch them to look after them, to keep that moisture in. And so that's, it's a really kind of important relationship we have with them. We will build on those relationships, and we often go back to the same landowners in the next season when they've kind of looked after the hedgerow really well and been a really supportive landowner and a partner for us.
So it's really nice, obviously we've got a beautiful sunny day today, but I think it's really important to get people and members of the community together, whether you're retired or you're still at school. I think it's wonderful to bring people together that are all from different backgrounds and different walks of life, and just bringing people together with a common goal of obviously giving back and protecting the countryside. Hedgerows obviously ecologically are vital, so yeah, fantastic carbon storers and providing habitats and corridors for our wildlife, but culturally as well they're kind of a standout feature of the English countryside, and what makes you know that you're in England if you're stood in a field and you see a hedge. So this season we're aiming to plant and restore just over 2 kilometres of hedging. We're doing this by holding planting volunteer days like today, and we also run hedge laying training sessions. We're also trying to connect with loads of local community groups, so we've worked with some of the Cotswold wardens, and we're also engaging some local primary and secondary schools as well to come out and help them get involved. This is our 3rd season doing the Hedgerow Heroes Project, and after the end of our project this time, we will have successfully created and restored over 5.6 kilometres of hedging in Gloucestershire. In the long term, the hedges that we've restored and planted across Gloucestershire will help promote biodiversity, protect our wildlife and improve the countryside and protect it for generations to come.